We're live.
All right.
We did it.
Oh no.
We did it.
All right, welcome to our first ever Dungeons and Dragons stream in partnership with Cloud9 Tabletop. Thank you, Artie, for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Happy to be here.
Welcome to the party.
Yay.
Woo!
Okay.
This is where we'd mime rolling a dice and say, "It's a pleasure to meet you."
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So let's see if I can get the actual overlay to work tonight, because I'm not seeing it again.
I'm seeing an advertisement for the Good Omens Amazon Prime series.
Ooh, yeah, I'm very interested in that.
As am I, but as far as hey, it's me.
Okay, let me know if you see it. If not, I will.
I see us.
Like, yeah, if you hover over, like the way it popped up before, you just kind of hovered over it and it showed up on the left side. But
As I recall, last time it's there, and then like it was still there, and then all of a sudden it disappeared.
yeah, well, yeah, it took me a while to find a place to remove it, but I definitely have it on now. I'm pretty sure. On the
Yeah,
left.
I've got an overlay on mine.
You do have the overlay.
I do not.
Oh, you do not.
Nope, I see our wonderful names, but I do not see our
Okay.
wonderful overlay.
Uh,
And remember when I started streaming Dauntless the other day and the overlay came up?
yeah. I mean, that's
Oh, back this way. Yeah, there we go.
Pointing to your name?
Yeah. There it is.
Excellent.
It popped
All
up.
right.
It popped up now.
Yeah.
Come up and watch us in a D&D adventure. Okay.
All right. Sweet. Okay. So
Visible. Oh my.
cool.
Oh, I see. They have to actually hover over.
Yeah. It's a little bit interactive. Like, you can kind of dive into this stuff.
Can people?
Oh yeah, there it is. I got it.
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, so if you take damage or whatnot, you can adjust your hit points on there, and people can see it.
Yeah. So we're using D&D Beyond to drive that. We've got character sheets on there. We'll be using all night. And you can kind of be part of the action as we play through. I mean, this is a kind of a thing that you've written, right, Artie? It's
Yeah, this is a little homebrew setting that I just kind of put together. It's kind of become a little bit of a go-to. I've run a few groups through it. It's always different, which is super fun to see where it goes. So it's designed as a one-shot, but if we're having an awesome time, we can make it kind of extend out further and keep it going. But yeah, I wrote this.
so for the uninitiated, what is a one shot?
Ah, yes. So in D&D, a lot of times you're playing with your buds over a long period of time. You'd call that a campaign, right? Where maybe you get together every Saturday or every other week and play for a bunch of sessions and kind of go on a big epic storyline. Get to a high level in the campaign, and a one shot is kind of a one and done. So it's enough of a story where it's got a beginning, a middle, and an end, and you can try to get through it in one setting. They normally wind up taking maybe one or two, but we should be able to get to a good stopping point here within a few hours of play. So.
Cool, awesome. And
Yeah.
so
And this is in no way our third session.
nope.
Yeah, so for everybody that's tuning in, we not all of us have been playing D&D every week or month for a while, so we had a couple sessions to get the rust off, and so we're good to go. Which so Nick, I don't know if you want me to give a little bit of an intro to what the story is here, or if you want to do that.
Yeah. Why don't you? Well, let's first go around the room. We'll talk about Cloud9 Tabletop, what you did, what you guys are doing over there, kind of why we partnered up here to do this stream.
Yeah.
And then we'll go around, introduce ourselves, our characters, and then we can go backstory and jump in.
Sure. Yeah. So, for Cloud9 and for me, so my name's Artie. I run the Cloud9 site and related D&D community. So, Cloud9's all about kind of helping players elevate their game. So it's about people learning about the hobby, getting into it, connecting with other people that are interested in D&D, and just tips, tricks, education, and just getting in and having a great time. One of the big projects we're working on now is we're launching some play-by-post campaigns, which is where you actually play D&D with folks from all over right on Discord, and so that's going great. It's a really cool
That sounds
format.
really neat.
It's a really good time. You kind of
When you
can
first said
post
play
ad
by
hoc
post, I
throughout the week.
figured you're actually going to say you're sending off postcards or letters to people. Like,
Yeah, that's true old school play by post. You have to use a quill and well ink to do it too. You have to like
dearest DM, I have rolled a natural 20. Please believe me. Kind regards.
I'm using the singed end of a ram's horn as
That's
my
right.
writing instrument.
That's right. So we thought it would be cool to work together because I think in a lot of ways the audiences are really very similar. A lot of folks kind of are totally have totally been playing D&D and fantasy kind of games and are interested in this kind of stuff, into what it's like to actually sit down and roll the dice and do the pen and paper thing. And also, I've never met a D&D player that didn't also love video games. So I think it's I think it's a cool match and a way to get folks exposed to both of our sites and just have a good synergy. So, and have a good time and just roll some dice and tell a story together.
Cool. All right. So why don't we go around the room, introduce ourselves and characters for any of the new folks watching that haven't seen a Co-Optimus stream. I'll start and just give a little bit about Co-Optimus for folks that have joined us from Artie's site. Co-Optimus is a website dedicated to co-op video games. We've been around now. This is year 11, I think, going on 12. 11 and a half, yeah. We've been
Launched in 2008.
Yeah, so we've been around for a while. We were basically our bread and butter is our database of co-op games. So if you need to find a game of a certain genre to play on the couch with a certain someone, we have the tools to help you find that. And that's kind of our niche that we've found ourselves in. I am Nick. I founded the site with Mike, who's up over there. And so that's it's all about playing together. D&D is about playing together. So yeah, like Artie said, it's kind of a natural fit. I am playing Orban Skew. He is a half elf paladin. I've ascended to level 2. I'm ultra powerful now. Beware.
You got your big talking stick.
That's right. I got my big
you're gonna
talking stick.
smash real good.
What did I get?
Smashy.
Actually, I forget what I got last time. What did I get?
It was like a great mace.
A great mace. Yeah, the great mace Windu. I named it, of course.
It's the big mace that says "bad motherfucker" on it.
That's right. All right. So Mike, why don't you introduce yourself and your character?
Yeah, I'm Mike. I've been with Nick on this adventure since the beginning, and I'm playing as Kai Ranath, a dwarven rogue that is also a bit of a scholar, and I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm going to probably slip into like 20 different accents because I can't nail one down. So trust that I am actually playing the same character, and we'll all have a good time.
All right. Go ahead, Jason. Why don't you take us home?
So I'm Jason Love. I'm lead editor on the site. I've been with Co-Optimus shortly after it launched, like I think the year after you guys kicked it off, because I've known Mike since 7th grade.
7th grade.
7th grade.
And how long ago was that, Jason?
1990. Well, I don't want to say.
1999X.
Yeah. It's been a long time. But yeah, so day to day on the site, just doing what I can to get stuff up and make sure things run.
It's been since 1994.
Ooh, look at that. Aw, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Is Jason's heart in that box?
No, it's
magic cards, so kind of.
Cards.
So yeah, so that's a lot of the stuff on the site. It covered most of that. I am playing Malikos Elatazari. This is my first actual like full, even as a one shot, like full kind of more lengthy campaign for D&D. I've played what have been like hour or 2 hour long one shots in the past with Mike and a couple of other friends, but that's been about it. So
And it was
was
probably
happy to hop in.
95.
What? What was that?
Probably about 1995 or 1996 when we did that.
That's what it feels like.
This is a
But
return
yeah,
home for me. I played Shadowrun for a very long time.
Oh, I love Shadowrun. It's so good.
Yeah.
this has been a lot of fun so far. Like, yeah, we've had
Yeah.
a couple of
What
queue up sort of things.
one of my first D&D-esque experiences was, it's probably around that time, like 93, 94. There was, I can't remember what it was called, but it was a game that had an accompanying VHS tape that you played, and so it had like the miniatures and you painted them and all that stuff, and it was very similar to D&D, but you had to like fast forward to different sections to hear the story and things like that. I can't remember what it was called, but yeah.
The only one of those I can remember
Oh.
is the Star Trek one with the Klingon
Experience beach, Mike.
Experience Beach, yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about though, Nick. I think because my family it still loves board games, and like my mom and I actually we would paint the figurines from Hero Quest. She loved doing that, and
Nice.
we would go on Hero Quest campaigns with my sister and brother and stuff like that. But I do remember there was some
Here it is.
Dungeons and Dragons theme.
Dragon Strike.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
it was
yeah, yeah.
called. I
We
found
never played it.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah,
Thank you.
here's
That
the Star
story
Trek.
went nowhere.
Star Trek: The Next Generation. Is that the game you're talking about? The interactive
yeah.
VCR board game.
Yeah.
There's a couple.
Interactive VCR board game.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
I also
That-
played back
Atmosphere.
in high school for like a year. I played Heroes Unlimited. I had a friend that played that, and that was kind of like proto City of Heroes.
I just
as a
found out
RPG.
that City of Heroes is still up and alive. That there's
private server.
there's a couple of major
Yeah.
private servers that people have kept it alive.
Yeah.
Someone
It was like WoW had one for a long time called Elysium, I think. That was what WoW Classic is and basically replacing.
someone in
Anyway.
the chat, Cypress Knight, has said that there's a Gargoyles VHS board game that he used to play.
Oh, is Jonathan Frakes still in that? Because he probably needed money.
Yeah, so we're definitely showing our age. So
Oh man, I
Hey, look,
definitely.
we knew gargoyles from middle school, so
I remember this. I watched the VHS of Dragon Strike. Never played the game, but watched the VHS. It was so.
yeah, it's bad.
Ah.
Yeah, I spent so much time painting those miniatures though, and everything that came with it. I was,
Oh.
let me tell you about our crippling Warhammer addiction for a few years
Oh
there.
yeah, yeah, that was me too. I didn't actually get into D&D till I was in my 20s, but Warhammer and Magic were big pastimes for me.
I still play Magic, so.
Yeah.
All
All right, how about let's play some D&D?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. So the story thus far, we are in a world. It's called Membadge. This world has had these rifts opening over the last few years, all over the place, and strange creatures have been pouring out. It's kind of a global phenomenon. They're very hostile. They're very strong, and our party has had a run-in with them. They were on a mission to come check out a problem in the desert nation of Nakur, and they were kind of totally surprised by one of these big rifts that opened up, and creatures slammed into their ship, and a large one kind of devoured the ship and most of its crew, leaving our party shipwrecked. And they had a long trek through the desert, defeating some crazy sand sharks that tried to get the better of them, and making it to the desert nation of Nakur. They've met kind of their key people in the city, the prince, and a little gnome named Tikri that they are currently traveling with upstream. The problem they're solving is the dead are rising. The dead are rising in a tomb that houses the kind of the royalty from the line of kind of the Tikri is from, and the
Undead gnomes.
undead tribal wild gnomes, and we are traveling upriver with our crew, and we're kind of doing this interestingly because we're jumping into our first live stream in kind of our third session. But what I like to do is kick off our sessions with an interesting kind of flashback from our characters, so we can get to know them a little bit more. And so today, Mike and I created a little bit of a flashback for Kai's backstory. So before we jump back into the ship and traveling upriver with Tikri, we are going to jump right in to Mike's backstory, Kai Renat's backstory. And so we'll jump right in. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
Ready to embarrass myself as I'll ever be.
It's only the internet.
Yeah, everyone's nice on the internet.
Nobody remembers stuff that happens there.
All right. So Kai is a dwarven rogue, just to remind everybody. Kai, you are riding back home. You've been on your research mission, and it's a long trek. You're winding through the mountains, and you're looking down at the palms of your hands, and you hear it over and over again. It's the words that your father drilled into you time and again. You look down, and you just hear it one more time. 1, 2, fight for what's right. Build it through. You can feel his meaty fingers kind of, pointing with his pointer finger into the palms of your hands. He's done it every time he's seen you, every day since you were a little boy. You'd walk up and greet him, and he'd tell you to put out your hands, and he'd poke your hands. 1, 2, fight for what's right. Build it through. He wanted to instill these values in you to use your own two hands, to take your destiny into your own hands and not rely on any kind of false powers that might be promised you. You're eager to see him. It seems like it's been too long, and you're eager to tell him your findings from your mission, but you had to come home early because you've run out of supplies. You are approaching the dwarven city of Kerternos. It's dug into the side of a mountain, and as you approach the outsides of the city, you see and smell through the village that is kind of organically grown outside of the mountain, the trade grounds. You can smell the smells of the bazaar, and you look up and see the great fortress built into the side of the mountain that had been built by your ancestors, built by your clan. And as you make your way in, you walk through this great city. You see the cityscape and how much it's changed in the last few hundred years. Your clan, the great builders, they've built so much of the old city, and so much of the new city has changed with the new divine magic that some of the clans have been bestowed upon them. The architecture is strange and unusual. The earthbenders, they call them, they have shaped the roofs and archways in ways that tools could never do. And you walk through New City, and you're approaching the old town. You're approaching your neighborhood, and you see a couple figures that don't frequent this area too much. You see Stegen and Sven, clan leaders from the diviners, and they're walking across a passageway over a canyon, and they lock eyes with you. They look a little surprised to see you. You're here early, and two of our guys here are kind of playing in this scene here. So what do you guys say as Kai is catching your sight?
Stegan, is that you? Oh, you smell like you bathe as often as I shave. Where you been? Why are you back?
My name's Kai. Did you not remember this?
Just roll with it. That's his name.
You forget your own name? What are you doing here? You don't even come to this part of town, you Teros botherers.
Don't you worry
Unnatural
why I'm
magics.
here.
You stay out of here. This is not for you. I just want to go home. I want to see my family. I don't want to see you.
Some family. Your father is a milk-drinking, bald-faced craven.
At least my father built what he had with his own two hands instead of depending on divine magics from a god who couldn't give piss about any of you.
Oh,
Only what you build in his own image.
you know what? Fine. I'd ask you to build something for me right now and break some rocks, but you better ask in the bloody wind.
Yeah. Fine. Be gone. And take that limp you got out of here, too.
And one, an older man that's ahead of you would kind of call back, Sven, Stegan, it's almost time. Hurry up, as he kind of ushers you along. And as they kind of pass ways, you did notice a limp, Kai. You noticed the limp that was unusual in Stegan. This guy, he's always been a rival. He's always been digging on you, even when you all were young in the same classes. He always wanted to outshine you, and he always thought he was better than you. And but he had a strange limp today. You make your way through the rest of the streets. You smell the familiar smells of the street vendors, and you're in the old part of town now. You kind of admire in passing the masterwork craftsmanship that the dwarven builders have built, both beautiful and functional into the structures around as you kind of make your way deeper into the mountain. And you see your house, and it seems strange because all of the homes, it's a little bit late in the evening. Most of the doors are shut. People have their hearths, kind of going in their homes, and your door is wide open, and there is bright light just pouring out into the street, and it seems strange as you approach.
What is... Father doesn't leave the door open. Is there someone inside? Should I just barge in like it's my own place, or should I be sneaky here? What do you all think?
I would, I would walk in like you own the place because
I mean, it's your home, right?
You kind of do. At least your dad does.
You're like knocking on the door, be like,
Yeah,
something for
obviously I see that everything does not look quite right, so I'll open the door and shout for my father. Father, where are you?
You open the door, or maybe you just walk into the doorway that's open there, and you call out, and it's. Oh, hang on. Did you guys lose my audio there?
Nope.
It's still good.
You're
Nope.
good.
I plugged in a USB and it. The place is trashed. The furniture is turned on its side. There is just paper, and it looks like the dinner that was being eaten is just all over the floor. There's porridge and stew and blood. There's blood mixed in with this, and you don't know what's going on.
Let's see. Father, where are you?
So you take your steps inside, looking around for your father, calling out for him, and each room you can see in this kind of humble home, it looks the same. when you find your father's chambers, you notice his work hammer. You notice the work hammer that he's toiled with at his bench, and uh, there is still dripping blood at the edge of it as it's sitting there on the pool on the floor. And there's no one here. Uh, what
His
do you want to
hammer
do?
never leaves his side. Is this his blood, or is this someone else's blood?
It's hard to tell. It's just dark.
Well,
You want to approach
let's
it?
do. I do. I would like to approach it and let's see. Can I do maybe perhaps an insight check here? Because I remembering that Stegen had a wound on his leg. This couldn't be
Yeah.
his blood.
Give me an insight check.
All right. 17.
You do. I mean, the 17. You do remember the limp clearly. It feels strange. And as you walk forward, and well, I'll keep that 17 in mind as I describe this to you. As you kind of approach the hammer, that old familiar hammer that you've fetched for him at times, and you reach down towards it, it almost feels like for just a moment you've been your mind was ripped from your body and you were in a dream reality. Looking around, and it was just everything was strange. The shapes were odd, the colors were odd, and it almost felt like you were in a state of overwhelming, like almost like electricity was flowing through your body. And as you finished moving through that spot, you came back to, um, and you're kind of maybe closing your eyes, maybe trying to come back to, and it just feels strange as you kind of gravitate towards the area maybe where you had that experience. It feels stronger. It almost feels like it's centered in an area in the room. And you find the hammer, and you look, and the blood seems strange. It doesn't even look red. It doesn't look right.
Uh, let's see. Excuse me. That was an otherworldly experience. That can't be father's blood.
And
Almost felt like a fey energy.
as you're trying to kind of make sense of it, you still don't know where he is, but you hear the gongs. You hear the council gongs. You know that your father is the head of your clan. You know that he must be in attendance, else face the High Counselor's wrath. Gong. Gong. What are you doing?
Well, if father made it out of here, he's surely at the council meeting, wondering what's going on. I better get there.
You kind of turn around and you're pacing back out, kind of decisively making a move towards the door. And as you pass through that area of space, you get that headache again. It hits you so hard that you actually drop to a knee, walking through that strange spot in the room. And as you kind of hit your knee, a strange hilt kind of catches your eye. It's turquoise blue and spiraled. It almost looks coral. It looks like it used to hold a dagger, but only about an inch of it now.
Sorry, you actually cut out real quick.
Oh.
Could you
Yep.
give me that last sentence again?
You see a strange dagger that was kind of behind the furniture. The blade is broken. The hilt is spiraled and coral looking, kind of green. But you catch that eye. You catch it in your eye as you kind of take a bit of a stumble.
That's surely a fey dagger of some kind. What would a fey be doing here?
Yeah. All the while, the gongs are going. You hear the council meeting. Gong.
I guess I will pick up and bring both the hammer and the dagger to the council.
Are you kind of rushing?
Rushing, yeah.
Yeah. And so you rush over. Council is held in the new part of town, the town built by those earth benders. The guards the guards know you. They know that you are the clan leader's son, and they kind of acknowledge you as you walk through the very large stone doorways into this room. And there's a bit of a dialogue happening. There is a stone room with it's circular with stone chairs kind of facing the center. One stone chair is higher than the rest. It's it's the chair of the High Counselor, and Stegen, who you saw on the bridge, is addressing him now. He's talking about your father. What is he saying, Nick?
So it's actually Sven.
Oh, sorry. Stegen's the son.
I was like,
Sven's the dad.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Get it right. Who wrote these things?
Most esteemed
Sure.
Most esteemed High Counselor, the Reneth clan is not deserving of this council, and Renrenoth is not deserving of this seat. The man cannot even count to 3. All we ever hear is 1, 2. He rarely shows up here, and he has no good input to our ways. I suggest we remove the Reneth clan immediately.
You dare insult my family? The oldest of the clans who built the very city you stand in right now?
What have you done for us lately?
And as you say this, Kai, the High Counselor kind of slams his scepter on the floor. He says, "You will be silent at council. You are not a council member, and you will be silent until spoken to. How dare you interrupt?"
How dare I interrupt? How dare he bring his new gods in here, defile this very city with his sorcerer's ways?
Child, you will hold your tongue. This is not a family discussion. And at this point, I feel like Stegen is looking to maybe turn up the pressure a little.
That's all right. Kai, why don't you go and sit in the back there, where you belong with the rest of the riffraff.
Riffraff? Why don't you come over here and call me riffraff again?
I mean, I would, but you're so weak. If you're alcohol and elf could drink in, stay standing.
It's headbutton time.
Oh yes, the famous catchphrase.
All right, go ahead and make your attack roll. Just roll a straight d20. We're in kind of story mode here. We don't have to add too much modifiers. Let's just see if you do this well or not.
That is a 19.
A 19, awesome. What does it look like as you headbutt the shit out of Stegen across the room? He was across the room, so you gotta cover some ground, by the way.
This is a running headbutt.
Just it's headbutton time. Run.
Great sprinters over short distances. The world becomes a blur. I'm seeing I don't know where my father is. I'm seeing the red mist at my rival chiding me like a child in front of the High Council, and I just run in and just bash him right at the bridge of the nose with the crown of my head.
Absolutely. And it's almost slow motion as it's happening, and while you are making your way there, the guards have been moving to intercept you. They've actually grabbed you by the arm, but you're just so freaking strong. You take them with you as you headbutt him, and as your head makes contact, Stegen's nose, it looks broken. It's bleeding down into his beard, and the guards are wrestling you back. And the High Counselor is like, "You will stand down now, or I will hold you in contempt of this council. Order, I say."
I will never stand down to an Asuran. They don't build anything with their own hands. They don't do anything except do what their god tells them. I will not listen to a word he says.
And he kind of the high counselor himself raises out of his seat, and he kind of gets right in your face, and he says, "This will bring me no pleasure, boy. Don't make me do it. You stand down now. You know the laws. Now run along." And he's just an inch from you.
I will not stand down. Not again. Not when Sven's over there.
Sorry, I was waiting for its head button time.
I was too. I was setting it up for you, man.
Yeah, I was like,
No. I spit on his new gods. Will not listen to a word he says.
The spirit of my new gods are nothing but an elf race did. No, Joker!
And the guards are kind of wrestling you down. And the high counselor says, "Fine. You make your choice. You know the law. We will make an example out of you. No one interrupts this holy place. No one interrupts this council." And he kind of looks at you and Sven, the father of this diviners council, and he looks back at Kai and he says, "I banish you from this city. You are no longer welcome here. You are not a diviner clan. You are not a Reneth clan. You are clanless." And Sven, looks at you and he says, "Brand him." And he's expecting you to make a brand from the earth with your lava touch and press it against his chest. The guards have just got him pinned. You do
I think
it?
that's you, Sven.
That's you.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and brand the bastard.
All right, so you know, the diviner magic that these dwarves wield, it almost looks like when you watch somebody doing a beautiful kata in martial arts. They move gracefully but powerfully, and the earth moves with them. And it glows molten like lava as this chunk of earth kind of flies off the ground and towards Kai. And what is the symbol of a clanless, Nick? What your choice, dealer's choice here? What's this guy gonna live with on his chest forever?
It could
If
be
it's
any.
a dong, I'm
How
I'm
about
with stupid.
how about a daisy? Because he's soft.
God.
Nice daisy. How's that?
a nice daisy.
All right.
You're lucky I like flowers, you bastard.
And Kai, as you say that, this thing just presses through your armor, through your leather, and right into your chest. It's excruciating. It's so painful that you actually feel yourself blacking out. The last thing you remember is looking down at your hand as this dagger clangs onto the ground, and you wake up, and you are out in the dirt, and you see this fey dagger next to you, your tattered clothing looking down, and you almost feel like crying. The only thing that's going back in your head is your father's advice. Your father's advice about being your own man and not relying on others, relying on plans, not relying on the gods. 1, 2, fight for what's right. Build it through. And we kind of come back to our ship. We come back to Kai as he's hearing Tikri say she wants him to row faster. Come on! 1, 2, 1, 2, come on! Come on, you can do it! And so we are back on river.
Build it through. Tikri! Where were you? Where are we?
Well,
Where are we? Come on, man. We're rowing a boat.
How close to your city? Close to your city are we, Tikri?
we're almost there. You asked me that like 10 minutes ago. Where you been? It's about an hour's away.
Fine. Let's row.
And if you remember, she's been razzing you because she feels like she's so funny because she had you guys row, but this boat is it's powered by fire sand. Yeah, so you have a little bit of a motorboat kind of taking you up upstream. So you've been traveling a day and a half. You can actually see the forest line up ahead. It's been nothing but desert on both sides of the river for your journey. And as you guys make it, we'll say that you are kind of pulling up, a short while later, and you're making dock. She says, "Well, we'll have to go on foot from here." And so Tikri, for the audience, is a wild gnome princess. She's about 3'2", got very big eyes and kind of tribal leather armor, feathers, cuffs on her arms. She uses a spear. She's a little spunky, and she's kind of the party's guide slash kind of take care of her right now. She knows the way to the source of the problem, and so as we kind of dismount here, we'll bring it to you guys. So she's going to start leading your way. Is there anything you want to stop and do or ask before you kind of start making towards inland of the land?
I think personally I'm probably just a little I don't quite have my sea legs at the moment, and I'm gathering my thoughts since I kind of came out of a fugue state there. So, Ortobin,
Yeah.
what do we do?
How far are we? Where are we heading again? I forget. Where was the actual like?
You're heading inland to the tomb.
Okay.
It's probably a half a day's hike to get there, and that's where it seems like the source of the problem is with these undead that are rising.
Tikri, what kind of land are we going to be traversing on the way to this tomb?
Well, if you want to go the fast way, it's lots of this, and she kind of kicks some sand into the air. If you want to go the slow way, then I can. There's a forest.
Why would we go the slow way?
Well, it's not as hot. We
Sun
have puppies
has
over
been
there.
beating down on us since we got to Nakur.
That's where I live. That's where my puppies are.
You mean the puppies you eat?
Nope. No more puppies, Tikri. No more puppies.
Well, why not?
So, what else is in the desert? Is there more of those little,
Sharks.
Sand sharks.
Well, there's things that want to eat you everywhere, but of course, there's more sand sharks.
Those were not fun the first time. Poor Phil.
And what you guys know about kind of this world in general is there's kind of these city states that have made some secure land, but the wilds outside of the civilized areas are freaking wild, like everywhere. Like caravans travel well armored. There's not a lot of just calm outside nature. Like you go out ready to freaking hold your own if you're traveling outside of kind of settled city boundaries.
So how fast is the fast way and how slow is the slow way?
We could get to the temple tonight, or if we take the forest, it'll probably be tomorrow.
What do we have?
Shade.
What do we have for supplies? What do we bring with us?
Well, we have all the water we brought, right? So we're good there. We haven't used that. I don't see any reason not to just get our butts there and kick some zombie butt.
Look.
So are you suggesting we hike through the desert again? Or do you want to go in the forest?
Isn't your dwarven ass used to it by
Roll
now?
in the trees along the river.
I got a broken fiddle back in the music shop back in the city that says that the desert is not the way to go.
Then let's go to the forest. It's indecisive paladins, useless.
Oh, we're gonna go through the far. I can show you my puppies.
Fine, show us your
Oh.
puppies.
Don't like that.
Remember,
But understand this, Tikri. I defend every creature, great or small.
The soup is delicious. I'm
I
just
have no interest in your soup.
okay.
I will
Okay.
pet your puppies, and you will not eat them.
Well, just be careful when you do. They nip. And she starts kind of just cheerily marching inland. So instead of going kind of more straight west, you're going a little more northwest towards the tree line that you can see. And Malikos, just bringing in one more loose thread from last week. Let's talk about your
Yeah, put it in my pack.
very
Not
interesting
touching
weapon.
it.
What have you been doing on this sea voyage with your staff that seems to have a lot of power?
With my sickle?
Yeah, your sickle.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Excuse me.
It's like a staff with it's got a curved blade on the end.
Yeah.
Okay. Grim Reaper.
Very short staff.
It's
Well,
not a
so
harv-
okay,
It's like a harvest sickle, not a hand sickle.
that's a hand sickle. It's a one-handed
I've
weapon.
been picturing this thing as a two-handed.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was
So
one-handed.
Nah.
I gotta fix that somewhere. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Well, so okay, trying to refresh my memory here. So determined that it was bad. I touched it. I got very angry at everybody. I promised that I would look into it when we got back into town to keep Orban from like punching me in the face and throwing it overboard.
That's true.
And the paladin wants to smite evil. We are
Yeah.
currently in possession of the most evil magical object that we have seen.
It just feels so good. You feel so freaking strong when you hold it.
Yeah. So I guess the question is like the time lapse between when that happened and when we hit inland.
Yeah, I'm just asking. Like, are you like trying to like keep your distance from this thing and like put it under your bag and not look at it, or
Yeah,
you struggling with it?
no. I'm trying to like think about it. I'm definitely trying to not, like the little bit of the occasional, just like one of these things, but otherwise, just trying not to mess with it.
Cool. Yeah, there's been a couple times. It's really hard to recall whether you did this or something weird happens, but you'd be kind of spacing out and looking at the distance, and then you'd look down, and you were twiddling with the weapon that you were sure you stowed away. It was in your lap, and your fingers were running along it.
Perfectly normal.
It's fine. I'm sure it's fine, but
totally fine.
Let's move on.
And every time you did
Kai
it,
fiddles with his weapon every time, and like I have to go in and cut it out. Just
every time you fiddled with it, you had this strange song in your head, and it went something like this.
We're getting to that.
Bringing inside jokes into the stream.
No, trust me, we're gonna get to that. Don't you worry.
I should have been a bard.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going through the forest.
Going through the forest.
Forest it is.
All right. So you hit the tree line, and it just feels awesome not to be in the sun. You've been in the sun for like all of the last couple days, other than nighttime, of course. So it's just been beaten down on you, and you're walking through. There's no path here. She's just kind of working her way through the forest. She's much smaller than you, so she expects you to keep up, but she's somehow really fucking fast, like just moving the vines, and she's just. A few hours into the walk, she stops, and she kind of looks at you guys, and she holds up her hands, and she kind of bends down, and she kind of feels around in the dirt. It looks like she's maybe touching a print or something, and she just gets really excited, and she whistles. No.
It's her puppy.
And the trees are rustling really heavily, and these dogs run up that are like their heads are even with the middle of the top of the tree. They're really big. These are fucking elephant-sized puppies, and they like run up and they lick her and they're pouncing around, and then she just looks at you guys. She's like, they're my puppies, and they're so much bigger than her. Like, she's so little, and they're so big, and she's like, okay, let's go, and she kind of like climbs on one of them, and this is very normal, and she just wants to keep going.
You eat these?
Am I to climb on this puppy with you, Tikri?
Oh, well, we eat them once a year. You know, it feeds the village.
But that's much faster than us. Are we to ride it too?
Oh, you can try.
Do
And-
I
and
want
she-
to try?
She kind of looks over. She's like, Pip, down there, and she's like pointing at the ground. And he puts his nose down. She's like, oh, well, they're friendly.
I'm gonna do what I do whenever I meet a friendly doggo. I'm gonna extend a hand to give it a good sniff so it knows I'm friendly. Maybe tuck my fingers in a little bit so they don't get nipped off or whatever. But
Yeah.
let's make friends.
Give me a real quick strength check, Kai.
Dexterity check to see if your fingers get bitten.
Oh no, this is another strength.
Strength check. Okay. Well, that is a 15.
Yeah, you're on your ass. The dog licks you, and you're airborne, and you're on your ass. Like, just poof.
Friendly lick, though.
You're not damaged, but it's just very
Oh,
friendly. Yeah.
covered in doggo slobber. Oh.
And he likes you, and you're
At least you've had your bath for the week, right?
You try it.
Why do you think I'm standing over here?
I think I'll just walk.
I'll take the ride.
All right. Let's go with a animal handling on this one then, Kai.
Oh no. Okay.
Based roll.
Well, at least I have a +2. With my modifier, that would be a 6. I feel like I'm about to take another dirt bath.
Oh, you're on it. You're riding this thing. The 6 will come in later. Don't you worry.
Oh, good.
All right. So you guys are walking. I mean, you have to go at the speed of the slower party members. So you're walking. The puppies are like prancing around. It's really hard to hold on because they get distracted. They jump on things. And you guys keep going forward. We can kind of travel montage you forward. Is there anything anybody wants to kind of do or say before we get a little further here?
I'm just gonna kind of whenever I get a moment, just try and brush
How
get
many
the dog snot off me.
How many puppies are there?
2.
Oh, just 2. Okay.
During the journey, idly, I'll just occasionally pick up a stick and like throw it.
Oh,
Son of a bitch.
there was one particular time where he threw it and the puppy jumped at it, and you rolled a 6. And so Kai, give me a quick dex save.
7.
So you take 20 stun damage as you get squashed into a tree. I think you're knocked out. Are you knocked out?
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah. So you hit a large limb as he jumped at the stick, and he's kind of taken to you. So the rest of the journey, you're kind of traveling by the scruff of your neck.
Unconscious on his back.
It's actually not the scruff. He thinks it's the scruff of your neck. It's your beard. So he's kind of
no.
by your beard for the rest of this.
I love it.
Am I
Beautiful.
unconscious at least, or is he?
Oh, you're totally unconscious.
Okay,
You're-
good.
You have no idea
I
what's
do
going
not
on.
wish to experience this indignity while awake.
No, the last thing you remember was there was a stick out of your peripheral vision. You were like, no, 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 and he jumped, and he just your head and the limb just right, yeah.
Orban, do you think we should wake him up?
Nah, let him sleep. He talks too much.
All right. So you guys kind of you make it through. Like we said, it's a little bit of a longer stay. So you wind up making camp. The puppy drops you next to the campfire, and it's dense. It's dense forest here. It's almost jungly here. A lot of vines. And the night's pretty uneventful. You had enough gear and supplies to pitch tent, to make camp, eat your rations, and or hunt for some local wildlife if that's anybody's thing, and keep on moving. Tikri was definitely hunting. She actually, let's see how well she did, just to see what she tried to bring for you guys. A 4. Did anybody eat the squirrel? Did anybody eat the squirrel that she brought? Because she brought a squirrel.
I'm
Well, I mean,
still unconscious, so no.
Okay. That's what that was on the menu for. So the next day comes. It does feel pretty refreshing to have taken in some of the fresh water and shade, and you're feeling refreshed, and you head out in the direction Tikri's leading you. The puppies don't go out into the desert. They know better. So they leave you guys and frolic through the forest there, and the sands extend for a few hours, and you see it on the horizon. You've been approaching a mountain that kind of raises out of the earth. Nothing compared to the very large mountain you saw in the distance in your previous session, where this water is coming from in this land. So I would say it's a kind of small, medium-sized rock that's jutting out of this sands, and it's got kind of a long edge that you're walking down. And Tikri kind of takes a knee and looks at you guys and looks over, and she goes, "Okay, that's the place." And you look down, and you're a few hundred yards away. But there's a kind of a flat surface that's been etched into the rock, and what looks like a doorway, like a non-obstructed doorway, very triangular in shape. Kind of looks like a like a single person could walk it, so it's pretty small. And she goes, "Well, do you want me to go in too?"
Well, we don't know anything about this tomb.
We need a guide.
We need a guide.
I've never been allowed to go in there, and I'm a little scared.
Tikri.
No, Tikri, you're your party's your people's leader. You're a fierce warrior. I'm going with you whether you tell me to or not. Damn it!
Thank you, Tikri.
Sometimes I have to remember to be brave. Okay, let's go.
And aside, I didn't have to offer to allow her to have some puppies afterwards. She did it on her own. That's good. I don't have to betray my morals.
So, kind of going in here, she's with you, but she's kind of tactically taking your lead for when to go forward, when to whatnot. So the entrance is a few hundred yards away. You're kind of along the rock side at this point. You're walking through sand. What do you want to do?
Can I make a perception check just to make sure I feel like we're not walking into something unprepared?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
While he's doing that, quick question for you. There was a blessing that we got that added D4 to a D20 roll that was only for a day. Has that day passed and the blessing's gone?
Yep.
Okay.
I do have divine sense that I can use as well, which detects evil.
I rolled a 9 on the perception.
Okay. Doesn't
So I
seem
guess
to be anything.
I have a +6 modifier, so I guess that's a 15.
Oh, sure. Yeah, 15's a little better. You see a couple things. You see that there are footprints that lead out of this tomb, kind of like tracks, not just one, but there's a little bit of a path that's kind of coming out of this thing. And the second thing you notice is that the doorway was definitely built for wild gnomes. It's small.
Well,
So are you
we
gonna start
solved
digging,
it.
Orban, or should I? Do we do this in shifts? How do we?
Yeah, how are
I
we
say
gonna...
you two need to get down on your hands and knees.
Yeah, I mean, when you get a little closer, you can really see, but you can probably get in there uncomfortably, but
we could fit through.
you can fit through. It's just you're not walking around. You're kind of crawling or hunching, but not really walking.
So wait, we're supposed to go into this tomb, on our hands and knees, and deal with the undead, while we are on our hands and knees.
Yes.
So you guys were the best, aren't you? The best?
I
You're
mean,
just complaining.
on-
We'll make do. I'm
upright
sure
on
there's an
2 legs,
antechamber in there
yes.
that we can all stand.
I've never been in there. I don't know if it's all like that.
All right, so I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna say screw you
all
guys.
right, yeah, you go first, Orban. You'll dig a little groove for me to follow behind.
Let me trailblaze a little bit here.
All right, so you kind of approach the doorway. Give me a perception roll, Orban.
4.
Do you have a modifier?
That was with the modifier.
Oh,
Oh man.
So you
Orban's just like, hey, here's a hole.
All that training to detect evil.
I didn't use my detect evil yet. My
No, he
divine
didn't.
sense.
So this is what's happening, right? He's like hollering back at you guys. He's like, "Yeah, I can detect evil when we're in here. It'll be fine." And then you turn back around, and there's a fucking floating skull looking at you like, and it just zooms off. Clearly, you missed the sentry. This thing was on patrol, and it found you. There's a lot of skittering and echoes that you hear in there now. Something is maybe getting ready for you.
Orban, did you detect any evil yet?
Oh, I think the evil detected him.
Yeah.
Well, at least we know someone's here to greet us.
So
all right.
I'm inside now, and everyone else
You're-
is just kind of.
Yeah, you're in. So you go in. It's like 4 feet tall, maybe, right? And then like, it's like you can crawl, but it feels weird, man. And there's a long corridor. It goes maybe 100 feet. And then you can't really see, but the darkness looks a little different over there. It looks like it might open up. Are you going in? Let's talk about light. You guys have you got torches, dark vision. What are you doing?
Well, as a dwarf, I have dark vision.
Yeah, you're fine.
I have dark vision
It's
too.
freaking human.
I've got a torch.
So you're leading the way with the torch.
Gonna ruin our dark vision.
You,
I also
so
have
you-
a torch, but I don't need it.
you not only trigger the sentry, you're leading the way with the torch. Okay, I got it. I understand. All right. So
That's our Orban.
Orban's leading the way, crawling through, and you go your 100 feet or whatever, and the sentry kind of, as you're just almost about to hit the edge of the hallway, the skull comes back and says, Master is not ready for you. Not ready for you. Not ready for you. And from the ceiling, kind of in front of you, there is a large kind of ooze that just starts dripping down and fills the entire crawl space, and another one from behind you. And so, kind of to the front and to the back of the party, you have kind of these oozes that have dripped down from the ceiling and are starting to kind of move in your way. Let's talk about marching order. So, on order was in the front. Who's how do you guys see your marching order that you would have gone into this from?
I'm gonna say that I am back with Tikri because Tikri was kind of tactically letting us take the lead, and I took great pleasure in joking about the tall people. So I really wanted to see them struggle.
Okay.
So I'll be behind Orban, and then Tikri, and then Kai.
All right. Cool. Let's roll for initiative. Woo! And we'll use our little Google sheet for tracking this stuff.
12.
You got a modifier or just straight 12?
Oh wait, no, I have a modifier, so that should be
Yeah,
a
straight 12.
Yep, that's good.
I rolled
That's
this here 18.
We'll just put that right in there.
2, huh?
I mean, it was good enough for your dad.
Oh, snap! Boom!
You know, Malikos, I don't believe I ever told you a thing about my family. How? All right.
All right, so we got some.
Moving on.
Are we getting? Is this slimes come in to get us, or?
Oh yeah, they sure are. I mean, so let's
Okay.
see. So combat wise, let's see. Initiative wise, let's sort that. So Kai, you are at the top with a 20, and so you're gonna get to act first. You see these things coalescing. You know what's going on. And so what do you want to do, man? You've got
Let's
Tikri,
see.
kind of. You're near the back. You've got Tikri kind of in front of you, but the ooze is in front of beyond her.
Tikri, fastball special.
You just throw her and you like get stuck in the
Just gonna yeet this gnome. Let's see. Oh geez, in there, how far away am I? Because I'm at the back here, so I'm gonna have to move. Probably, because
Yeah.
I'm.
You
The-
can kind of
So
struggle
remind me,
through
we
there.
were in the long tunnel. It's opening into a room. Everything is in front of us at this point.
No. You're the combat's still in the tunnel.
Okay.
And it was a dropped out of the ceiling in front and dropped out of the ceiling in the back. So it's just a big long kind of
Okay,
tube.
so there's one within
one in the
reach
back.
of me.
Yes, there's one that's beyond Tikri.
So it's basically Kai, Tikri, Ooze, me, Orban, Ooze.
No, it's ooze. The oozes are bookends.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in the back.
Yep.
Tikri
So-
was in front of me, so there's an ooze right next to me.
Oh, you were in the backpack. Sure, then. Yeah. It's
Okay.
it's dropped right behind you.
Well, let's see.
I
And they
believe.
surprised us, so I'm not gonna really get an opportunity or a sneak attack here. So I'm just
no.
gonna make an attack.
The phrase you're looking for is it's headbutton time.
You think I'm stupid enough to headbutt an ooze?
I'd love to see it.
So I'm just gonna make an attack.
Kai, and you're using these daggers, right?
Scimitar.
The scimitars, yes. It just
So
as they're coalescing, it's a very strong smell of. It almost smells like menthol. It's like burning your lungs. There's
Oh.
there's
Oh
something
wait.
going on.
Okay. All right. So. No, I'm still gonna make the attack here. I have another idea, but I'm gonna wait for maybe a more dire situation.
Okay. Go
Uh,
ahead and roll your
so
attack.
let's see. Main hand, that is a 4. So no.
4 total.
Yeah, 4 total.
Uh, nope. And how about your second one?
So this is offhand, so I don't add my dex, yeah.
Correct. Not to damage. You can add it to your hit.
Okay. Oh, so it's to the hit but not damage. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a 19.
So yeah, the first one you swing, as this thing is forming and miss. The second one makes purchase, and you hear the dagger or the scimitar sizzling as it slices through this thing, kind of the wound sealing back up as it doesn't seem to be doing much to it, but you slice through. Go ahead and roll your damage.
3.
A 3. Okay, so yeah, 3 damage to the first, kind of the ooze in the back, and you do your 2 stabs, and you bring it back, and you sense it as you're kind of recomposing your fighting stance. Your dagger smells strange. It smells burnt.
I believe this is an acid ooze, my friends.
Yep. Go ahead and let's see who's next. The oozes are next. Okay.
Decrease the DM now.
So Nick, this guy is going to try to attack you. Let me read his special stuff here for a second.
It's a good thing you're in front, buddy. Tap you on the butt.
All right.
I wonder what my scythe is doing now.
Hey guys.
He did not roll well. Okay, so he rolled a 10, Nick. I'm sure that's gonna miss you. It kind of lunges at you, filling half of the corridor as you kind of move aside, and you smell that kind of thick menthol smell that it hurts to breathe it in, and it touches just the tips of your kind of shield as you're kind of wiggling out of the way, and it's sizzling and burning as it touches metal on your being, but it misses, and the one in the back's gonna go. Kai. Oh, it's got a 15 to hit. Is 15 gonna hit you?
My AC is 13.
Oh yeah, it's gonna hit you. Okay, let me do 6.
That'll feel nice.
Okay, 3 plus 4 plus 3. So it does 10 points of damage to you. 3 of them being kind of the bludgeon as it kind of smacks into you, and it hits your chest, and then it's gross. It's filling your clothing. It's touching your skin inside your like under your clothes, and just filling, trying to kind of just be right next to you, and it's burning the shit out of you. So you got what kind of leather are you wearing? You're just wearing straight leather?
Um,
Or are you wearing studded leather?
yeah, it's just leather armor.
That's good for you. But the metal things that it's making contact with, maybe your belt buckle, are just sizzling away. Okay, that's his turn. And it's on you guys. Who's next? Let's see.
Wait, don't you only have 10 hit points, Kai?
I had 17.
You're
Oh.
level 2 now. Orban, it is your turn. There's an ooze that's dancing with you.
Use your torch.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Try your torch. I'm not sure here.
You have a really
What
your big maul, your huge maul that you got. It's primarily wooden.
Yeah, it's like, but you're saying they're melting metal, not
Metal.
wood. Well then,
Yeah.
maybe I give it a shot.
It is your character, sir.
I
You
know.
do what you choose.
Yeah. Let's give them all a shot. Um, so I'll attack with the slime that's in front of me here.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. A
I'm
3.
not gonna make you roll at disadvantage, even though you should with this big ass maul in this small ass hallway. But got a 3.
Swings and it hits the ceiling.
Yeah, it's what's the modifier? Yeah, it's a 3.
What was the die roll?
3.
All right. Well, you have modifiers to your attack. Your attack roll's got something,
Uh,
and it's a +1 weapon, so you add +1 more.
I don't have that in my notes. That's what I'm missing. Cause I had a we couldn't find it in the little DB thing, so I think that's why.
Oh, okay. What's your strength?
Strength is +3.
+3. Okay, yeah. So +3. You add your proficiency, which is +2, and plus the weapon. So you're at a +6 to hit.
Okay.
So +6, +3 is actually enough to hit. I mean, it's easy to hit these things. They're freaking huge oozes.
Yep.
So you do make contact. Go ahead and roll your damage.
I have it in the notes here. It's a 1d12 for damage on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
1d12, and then you're gonna add your strength and the +1, so it's 1d12 and then +4.
So that's 7.
7 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you kind of plop through it, and you slam down. I'm imagining maybe you slam into it and keep the weight going down to the floor. You make a hole in it, and it kind of collapses in on itself. It's a little smaller at this point, but it's still looking okay. All right. Anything else for you, Nick?
No, I think that's all I can do.
Okay. Let's look at the tracker. Who's next? Malikos, you are up.
All right. Based off of things have been going, I'm gonna say Tikri, get down and kind of just push her out of the way and extend my hand, and Kai, duck, and then fire off an eldritch blast at the back ooze.
Okay. Go ahead and make your ranged attack.
All right, so that is.
I'm gonna say make that with advantage because you're firing down a corridor that this thing is filling. So roll it twice. Very hard to miss it.
Roll it twice. Roll my d20 twice.
Yeah, take the better.
Okay. All right, so with let's see, make sure we got all that. Okay, so yeah, with the modifier then, that is a 24 to hit.
24, yeah, definitely hits.
And damage is 10.
Okay, 10 more damage. Do some math here. All right. Cool. Yeah. You just sizzle through this thing. It's definitely doing some serious damage, but it's alive. What does your spell look like as it makes contact with the thing?
So just extending my hand, it's just going to be a straight beam, kind of down the corridor, hitting the center of mass of this thing as it kind of Tikri's over to the side, and Kai is ducking as close as he can down to the ground. So it just kind of singes just the top of his head.
Awesome. Yeah, and it makes a big hole in this thing. It actually punches through. You see the daylight behind it for just a moment as it kind of punches through and then closes back up. And it's still kind of just moving in towards you. All right, let's go back to the top of the order here, I think. Did we get everybody? No, Tikri. Tikri's going to make her attack.
Ooh.
It's very interesting to watch Tikri. Tikri is almost like two-faced. There's social Tikri, and right now she is freaking warrior Tikri. She is definitely in combat stance, and she thrusts her spear forward with authority. She makes contact with the ooze. Her spear is wooden, and she just punctures in and pulls it back out, leaving a hole, coming back into combat stance, and then kind of trying to move back to kind of get away from the thing. Let me add some damage for her. She hit the back one. Kai, we are back up to you.
Let's see. I'm probably a
Oh,
bit.
sorry, real quick. I'm gonna interrupt. Normally it's a blue beam, but I noticed like as I fire it, there's just like a little tint of green going through it that
Ooh.
is new to me.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Actually, if that's the case, add 2 more damage.
Okay. So then that was 10, so 12 total.
Okay. Back one. Got it. Yeah, it's no longer filling the corridor. It's not as big. Kai, you're up.
So is like, okay. So the back ooze. I got slapped for more than half my AP, so I feel like I need to take a disengage here. Try and maybe get some better positioning so this thing's not.
Don't you get that as a bonus action? I think you could do
It
that.
is a bonus action, yeah.
Yeah, so you can attack and then disengage if you want
Yeah.
to.
So yeah, okay, let's do that. I'm gonna make another attack at it and then disengage. I'm since my weapon was sizzling, is it like about to break or?
It's not about to break. I'll let
Okay.
you know what happens when you roll.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna make a one-handed attack with the weapon that's already been damaged since my other one is clean.
Okay.
Assuming they're both.
Are you trying to switch hands and then do that? Because it's in your offhand.
Actually, no. I will just make the offhanded attack.
Okay.
So let's see what happens here.
What happened to using your torch?
Oh right, I totally forgot. Can I bash this thing with my torch and see what happens?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I don't have a chart for that, so just tell me what roll to make.
Just roll your attack as normal. We will call it you can add your it's not a finesse weapon, so you're gonna add your strength as your modifier. So you're
I have no strength modifier.
so it's just a +2. You'll just add your proficiency. We'll say you're proficient at swinging this thing.
All right. No, I'm not. That's a 4.
A 4? Nice.
A 4.
Okay, and so I'm picturing
and then
you kind of
disengage afterwards.
Sure, I'm picturing you kind of grabbing this thing as a like almost out of desperation because it's not lit. You have dark vision, right? So you're just grabbing the unlit torch, swinging it wildly at the thing. It's kind of missing. You make a little bit of contact with it, not enough to damage it, but the wood doesn't sizzle. And so you're disengaging. Are you gonna try to kind of climb over your party? Because that's kind of the only place you can go. Tikri's right behind you.
Tikri's right behind me.
She's easy to climb over. She's a little thing.
Yeah, I think I'll hop over Tikri Warrior Princess, since she's got that wooden spear and seems to know what she's doing.
Yeah.
Because I might want to consider being in a position to use one of my healing potions.
Right.
Because I'm hurting.
Yeah, and so, she, this timid girl that you kind of saw previously, she sees you looking to maneuver, and it almost seems like she's like been trained for it. You actually make a little bit of a move, and she rolls across your back. She actually grabs your bedroll as a shield as she's kind of getting back into combat stance, and then just starts thrusting again against this. And all right, next up in the order, we are at
Front ooze.
Front ooze. All right, Orbin. Let's see if this thing does something to you. Oh, he is rolling so bad. He's gonna roll a 9, which is not gonna hit you again. So he's just just continuing to fill this corridor that you are somehow dodging. All right,
big old plate armor paladin,
Yeah,
nimbly dodging.
in a cramped hallway.
yeah. All right, well, we're gonna do Tikrizu's in the back. Oh, yeah, rolled pretty shitty. So it lunges forward at her and she takes the bedroll and just he-mans it into it. She just pushes it back with the bedroll, and the bedroll goes inside it, and it just kind of disappears. It's gone, and she kind of looks at you like, sorry.
I didn't want to wash it anyway.
And it is they're done with their turn. Orban,
It's the
you are
cleanest it's been in months.
Well, I'm gonna smash this thing again.
Go for it.
Let's see what we. It's the wrong die. It's an 11 plus 15.
Yeah, definitely hits.
All right. Ugh. 2 6.
6. Okay, not bad. Putting some dents in this thing. Yeah, it kind of splashes around as you kind of hit it. Malikos. The one in the back is again no longer filling the hallway. It's about half the hallway at this point. The one in the front's looking okay.
So the one in the front is okay. Yeah. I'm still gonna focus.
Uh-oh.
I feel myself start reaching for the scythe, or calling it a scythe at this point.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Probably calling out the wrong thing, but sure.
Okay, yeah. Well, because I mean, the only reason I asked is just because, like originally, like when I was building this out, it was like, oh, you can have a sickle. So we'll whatever, yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like consciously in my head, I just start trying to pull my hand away from it, and trying to calm myself because like I noticed the green tint in the Eldritch Blast before, and that kind of has me a little bit on edge. So trying to calm myself down, trying to focus myself again, and bring out my hand to do another Eldritch Blast against the one in the back.
Nice. Go ahead and make your attack roll, and also give me a Wisdom roll to see if you see what happens with the green stuff.
Do you want me to do the Wisdom roll first?
No, just either way, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just let me know which one to switch.
Okay, so that's going to be a natural 20 plus 5 for the attack.
Ooh.
And then a
critical
Wisdom roll here. Let's put a modifier on that. So that's going to be an 8 for the Wisdom roll.
Ooh. I'll let you describe it, but this thing died, and a astronomical amount of energy, of that green energy, surged through you just now.
Yeah,
What does it
because
look like
I
when you
rolled.
kill it?
I also rolled a 10 for the damage. So.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, trying to calm myself, and just like my hand is shaking as I bring it up, and fire it off, and like as I see it go, I see where once there was a green tint, now there's just like sparks of green coming off of it, and a full like spiral thread of green going around the blue, and just sitting there like wide-eyed, mouth agape, as like it goes and just slams into the slime, and disintegrates it from, hits the middle and disintegrates it all.
Yeah, it flies through it, and just scorches the entire corridor as it flies out the rear entrance. It's looking black and charred on the sides. Awesome. First critical on the live stream. Nice.
Yeah.
And you might be turning into a demon or something.
Yeah,
It's great.
The price you pay.
All right, awesome. Let's see who's next. Good job. It is the front ooze's turn. This thing's gonna hit you, damn it, Nick.
Nope.
Finally, let's see. Okay. I've rolled 3 times. I've rolled the number 4 on this d20 3 times. Okay, it misses. It misses. It's just glopping around you and nothing is happening. Metal wearing paladin guy. Thank you very much. Oh god. All right, next up is.
Did we go out of order there?
Did I? Oh, I skipped you, Kai. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was wondering. I'm thinking here. So right now we have both oozes. One is exploded and the other one is still.
Yeah, I mean the back one's gone.
The back one's gone. So we have front ooze, and
I'm just doing this.
Orobin and Malakos are between me and the ooze. Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, Orban looks like he's doing the limbo, and the ooze is just all above.
Hey, Barbados Slim.
Yeah.
Now I'm picturing the mask, that scene from the mask where he's like dodging the bullets and going like and lifting himself up.
I just want to test the theory I've had. I'm gonna light my torch and huck it at the ooze. If I feel, do I have line of sight to throw something?
Yes, but there's a couple party members between you and it, but yes.
Well, it's more. Am I going to have to like throw it through them if I tried this, or?
Oh yeah. You have
like yo, duck.
It's okay. I'll dodge it.
Yeah, you probably will. You have a tiny corridor with 2 big-sized people in between you and the ooze. Yes, it's going to be very difficult to do.
Okay, then let's see. Jeez. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna light the torch, and then try and hand it up to Orobin. I'm gonna say, hey, give this, Malakos, get this to Orobin, and then light his maul on fire and whackety whack or something. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna say, hey, take this. I have an idea.
He's got a lit torch.
Oh, he does have a lit torch. Okay,
Yeah,
well, all right. Sorry. I'm not keeping track of everything.
So you can just show him to use the lit torch.
Well, the other thing is I have a pinch of fire sand.
Yes, you do.
If we're gonna. Okay.
This thing's almost got to be dead though. I hit it twice.
I'm just gonna, I'm gonna just say, you guys, Orban, you look like you've got this.
I'm dodging it. I'm whacking it. It's all good.
And yeah, I think I'm not gonna make any large moves here. Wait and see what happens.
You do have a healing potion that you may or may not want to use, but you got some of those from the.
Yeah, I have 2.
Priests. Yep.
Yeah, I have 2. I don't know if I want to use it just yet, but we'll see.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass my turn.
Okay.
I'll fumble through the pack. What have I gotten here?
Would one of you guys like to volunteer to kind of be the main initiative tracker guy? I got a lot of tabs that I'm managing.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So the oozes went. So it's.
So.
Orban.
It should be me.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try and put this thing down. Ooh, it's a 19 on the attack, and 11 on the damage.
Oh yeah. How do you want to do this?
Well, so
describe how you crush this thing.
Yeah.
So as I'm doing my dodge moves, I reach back and I start smashing all the pieces that are kind of attacking me one at a time. So it's a little, boom, just hitting it over and over again. Just
whack-a-mole.
yeah, I just keep hitting it until literally there's nothing. Like I over hit it, right? It just I'm not satisfied until the entire base of the cavern is literally like jelly, from smashing every little piece, and I just keep going and going until someone tells me to stop.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, it definitely does that. It explodes all over the damn place. Singes your skin just a little bit as some of the droplets splash up on it, and it is gone. And you guys, you're kind of heaving after you've exerted yourself smashing this thing, and this skull, that kind of just sparked the whole thing. It kind of is looking at you guys, and it's kind of like, and it kind of just flies away.
Never
Okay.
been scoffed at by a skull before.
That's a new one for me too. I assume that's the evil you detected.
It's a sentry that you didn't look for.
Yeah.
I feel like we should inspect our equipment here because we had an awful lot of acid just splashed everywhere around us.
Yeah. So you look at the dagger, blade's dull. The integrity of the metal parts of the blade don't look good. So you feel like it won't do as well, in combat. So mechanically, you'll be at a -1 that dagger, both the hits.
Okay.
I have a lay on hands action that I could use to heal Mike for 10 HP before we move on. If we want to do that,
That's probably a good idea.
see.
Because I'd rather not pop a healing potion.
Yep. So yeah, I could do up to 10 HP for that. Before I
1
rest.
second.
Yeah, you go over and look at Kai, and you see his chest, and it's just burned like hell with acid. The only thing that's not burned is the solid rock from his clanless it's branding that's still in there. So there's a freaking daisy just looking back at you, waiting to be healed.
Heal me.
There you go. Let me touch the daisy. Show me your daisies.
Show me the daisy. All right, you are healed back up.
All right.
Cool.
So that just does a flat 10.
Yeah, dude,
Right.
Nick.
I missed a Doc Holliday quote. I should have said, "Isn't that a daisy?"
Oh.
There you go.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah.
So what you missed out on, now that we're out of the fight, just metagaming wise, Nick, every time this thing would have touched you, your armor is permanently reduced by 1.
Oh.
Yeah, you would not have been a happy paladin after 2 or 3
No.
touches of that thing. I mean, you start falling apart. After -5, it's just gone. The
Yeah.
thing is it's literally unusable. So, yeah, that could have been a lot worse. All right, cool. So you guys are in the corridor. Why don't we've been going for a little while here. Why don't we take a quick break?